Hi guys! So finally I want to record this video about dry fasting, and this is something that many people were interested in to hear more. So I want to share my experience, but first of all I want to explain you what is dry fasting, how it works, what are the benefits, what are the side effects, and if it's good for you or not. Because not all people can do that. As you know, every diet is different. All people are holistic and different. That's why you have to listen this video before you take any steps. So I ask you to listen carefully until the end before you make a decision to go for dry fasting or any other kind, because everything what is related to your health you need to know as much as possible. You need to get information from different sources, and then of course you have to try yourself and see how it works with you. Like everything in life, fasting has a cumulative effect. What it means that the more you try, the more easier it becomes. My first time was pretty complicated and challenging, but the second, the third, the fifth time are much easier. So before you make your own conclusion, I ask you to first stay and try a few times, and then you will see, because the cleaner your body becomes, the easier it will be for you to handle the diet. What I mean, so why we need to do dry fasting? Let's start with the most important part, because we cannot decide for ourselves what is the best diet for us. Because when we have a lot of mucus and toxins and impurities inside our body, it means that all these parasites and impurities are dictating us what to eat. For example, you are what you attract what you are. Yes? Similar and similar. So if you have acidic environment in your body, meaning a lot of mucus, a lot of toxins and things that haven't digested properly, it means that you will be prone to eat more unhealthy food, acidic food, processed food. And that's why if you want to make this shift and start eating healthy food, more alkaline, more raw vegan food, it will be very challenging for you, and most probably after 1 week you will quit and come back to your previous diet, because your inner environment is not ready yet to make this big shift. So in order to facilitate that, you have to understand this basic formula. So if you want to make a drastic change in your diet, you have to take slowly, step by step, and you have to change your inner environment first, so that your mind is clear and you can decide what food works best for you. So how to do that is fasting, and the most efficient way of fasting is dry fasting. For example, 1 day of dry fasting equals 3 days of water fasting. But you have to know, you have to be very careful, because if you have diabetes, if you have chronic diseases, if you're overweight, you have to start probably with mucusless diet, raw vegan diet, and then slowly come to water fasting. Then you have to try dry fasting. So you cannot change your life in 1 day, and you should be fine with that. If you're more or less healthy and you just want to try it out because you feel that this is amazing, and from my experience it's more than I expected, then you can go directly to dry fasting if you have done any experimentation with food before. So what is dry fasting? Dry fasting when you avoid any liquid, any food during period of time. So normally I recommend to do that for 36 hours. It means you go to sleep, you wake up, you don't eat and you don't drink anything, and then you go to bed, and once you wake up, then you can exit the fast, and then you can start drinking and eating again. So it's just 1 day, really easy, really fast, but it has tremendous effect on your health and on your feeling. And dry fasting is regarded to be the most efficient way to boost your immune system and to cleanse your body. And I will explain shortly how it works, because it's really important to know how it works. The standard dry fasting way is you don't drink and you don't eat for an entire day, and the Hard dry fasting is when you don't touch and you have no contact with water whatsoever. It means that you're not even brushing your teeth in this day and you're not taking any shower. So the hard way monks are practicing, but you can go the soft way, the standard way, just avoiding water and food. And if you're a beginner, if you're a meat eater, if you're not vegan, it means that you have to take it slowly, step by step, and I recommend you, as I said, to start with more plant-based food, less processed food, avoiding dairy, avoiding meat and fish and all the processed stuff, and making sure that you have enough plants, enough raw food. Raw vegan food is the best. It means salads, it means everything that is green, fruits, juices. This is the best stuff. So the more you include these items to your diet, the more your body will cleanse itself and the easier it will be for you to do the dry fasting. And I will give you, in the middle of this video, one more trick, one more advice how to feel much better when you do the dry fast, when you do any shift in your diet, because I didn't know about that when I started and it felt much more difficult than it should be. So once again, it's a very important recommendation. So if you know that you have a lot of toxins and mucus, go slowly. Don't try to rush things. Don't try to change your life in one day because it's really serious. For example, from dry fasting, one person can heal all diseases, and become completely healthy and active and super happy, and another person can die, So you have to be sure that you consult with your doctor, or if you know that you have certain, conditions, just be careful and go slowly into this, because you have to decrease the overload on your system and then you have to do the dry fasting. It's very important, keep it in mind. So what are the benefits of dry fasting? First of all, it boosts your immune system, then it regenerates all your cells. And it cleanses dead cells out of your body, because most of them, they don't leave our body, they're somewhere inside us. Dry fasting also gives you a massive influx of stem cells, which make you feel younger, more active and more healthy. And what I also know from yogic tradition, dry fasting makes you more spiritual. It means it cleanses your mind, it opens your heart. And it not just cleanses your body from toxins, it also cleanses your emotions, your mind, your thoughts, and you become more focused on what is really important for you. For example, during my 5th dry fast, I felt that I finally are on the right path. It was a very beautiful feeling, so I was super focused. I felt very weak and tired, but it was like a relief, because all the unnecessary emotions and stuff and tasks just went out of my head forever, and I started from a new page. So this is also one of the benefits of dry fasting, if you want to change your life, not just your health. And it is proved by science that dry fast also improves your brain functions. It helps you to create new neurons in your system, in your brain, and make better connection between your right hemisphere and left hemisphere. And also, what is really important to know, that dry fasting has been done by people for centuries, especially for religious purpose. For example, Muslims are doing dry fasting every year for 1 month, and they're completely healthy. They have a lot of health benefits during this fast. This is the minimum thing you can do. So if you don't want to fast every month, you have to do this at least for once a year. But if you do once a year, you have to do for 1 month. It's like prolonged fasting. But normally what I recommend, and what most doctors recommend, is better to do 1 day every month or every 2 months than 1 month once a year, because it's less stress for your system and it's amazing. You get used to it. It's like, like brushing the teeth. It's so easy. And what's also interesting, that dry fasting is really safe, and it's even more safe than long water fasting. So 1 day won't kill anyone, but you can experience some side effects, and this is what I want to tell you now. So what I experience and what most people experience, you have to be ready for it, and you have to let go of control. You have to find some time to rest during this day of dry fasting, because you might experience fatigue, lack of energy, headache, and just dizziness in your head. So all of this might happen, so you have to be ready. You have to be at home probably, just to have this, chance to lie down and relax during the day. This is the time when all the toxins, all the parasites, they start freaking out in your body, and they are released to the system, sometimes to the bloodstream. This is when the cleansing effect starts. So you might feel pain in different areas where you have the most amount of toxins. And it's normal. It means that in that area you could have a disease in some time, but instead you have all these toxins going out of your body, out of different areas, so you avoid the future disease. It's like the preventive mechanism for your body to heal now, rather than have a surgery or drink pills in the future. Your body is incredibly well designed, and when you're doing the fasting, this is the time when your cells start eating toxins inside them instead of food, because they have to work, so they go and find everything what's left, all the leftovers, and they process it, and they are released from your system. So this is the natural way of heal and detox. Instead of taking pills or doing some stressful diets, this is the best way the nature designed it. Because even all animals in the nature, this is how they heal. When they feel sick, they go into solitude, they rest, they don't drink anything, they don't eat anything, they just want some time to restore themselves. So this is what you do when you do the dry fasting, exactly the same thing. And what are the benefits of dry fasting? First of all, it lowers the inflammation in your body, and it's a best preventive mechanism against any disease, because for the inflammation, for any disease, you need water, you need food. And when you stop drinking, when you stop eating, disease dies or inflammation stops. So it also helps you to balance cholesterol in your blood. It also helps you to prevent osteoporosis. It's very good for your bone health. And it's amazing to lower the blood sugar, against diabetes, and so on. So I really recommend you to do this every month, but start slowly. Maybe start now, and then you start in 2 months, and then slowly you get into the regular schedule. During both dry and ordinary fasting, the body's forces are aimed at doing a full cleansing of the house, hence the therapeutic effect. During normal nutrition, cells die in the body during life, and most of them remain inside the body. To remove them or somehow dispose all of them, you will understand soon how it happens. You need to allow the body to rest from eating time to time. What happens during fasting? Due to the lack of external sources of nutrition, your body begins to look for other reserves, not only glycogen.